So I'm sure a lot of you recurring viewers of this channel know about my whole sub setup, mainly how I'm powering my subs. And I've had a very similar setup ever since I first started making videos about my system on this channel. My setup has definitely changed a bit, but my power setup for my subs has been in the same spot the whole time, and it hasn't changed a whole lot, but that's definitely going to change in this video. And right now that's already changed. So if I remove this curtain, y'all can see that nothing is behind here and everything is moved right inside here. I did actually record a few clips of me removing my old setup and putting it inside of my closet, but for some reason I lost the footage and I can't find it. I do wish I was able to show you guys some of the process, but at least I got this set up and at least it actually works, and it also looks good too. This setup is definitely a more safe setup than my old setup, as I can see where each individual wire is actually going. So if I ever have a problem with my setup, then I can track where each wire is actually going, and the setup just looks a lot more clean. Let me know what you guys think of it down below in the comments. I'm also planning to do some more work to this whole sub setup, so I want to make this door opening a little bit smaller, which will lower the tuning of this, because this whole sub setup is basically a bandpass box. So these two subs have their own tuning, and this opening right here also has its own tuning. I did measure this whole opening trying to find the tuning frequency of it, and I think this is tuned somewhere around 35 to 36 hertz. It was actually quite a bit lower than I was expecting. I used a calculator to try to find the tuning of this opening, and it said it was tuned somewhere around 35 hertz. So I want to see what would happen if I would lower it, because right now my peak frequency in this room is like around 33 hertz. This amp has a built-in subsonic, and it's always going to be set at 25 hertz, and that's definitely not as low as I like it, as my old amp went all the way down to 10 hertz. So them super low notes aren't going to be as loud as them higher notes like in the 30s, and I know it has a lot to do with that amp right there. So if I lower the tuning of this opening right here by a little bit, and if I port this 15-inch subwoofer box, because I actually am planning to port this sub box, and I want to tune this sub box to around 29 to 28 hertz, possibly even 27 hertz. I already have some glue to port this box, because this 15-inch sub isn't a sealed box, and with it already being in a sealed box, it actually still does get pretty loud even on lower power, and it also hits low too. But I'm just trying to get some more output, and I also just want to make sure that I'm running two ported boxes instead of one sealed and one ported. It has been working for a while, but I definitely want to try porting that box, as I'll definitely gain some more output. But the main thing I'm worrying about is any phase cancellations that I'll get, because I was trying to tune this 18 to 24 hertz, but it actually ended up getting tuned to 22. And if I'm planning to tune this one to like 28 hertz or 29 hertz, these subs can run into some phase cancellations, but I guess you'll never know unless you try it, because I have been running a ported and sealed box, and for what I've been listening to, it's honestly been working pretty well. I only have one amp right now, because I could have both of these subs play different frequencies. So this is what the ported 15 frequency graph is looking like. So the graph definitely doesn't look too bad, and this blue line right here is the sealed 15, and as you guys can see, this ported 15 is in the green line and the sealed 15 is in the blue line. And the ported 15 looks like it's going to be quite a bit louder. And when ISD is showing up to like a 5 dB difference, and this is how they would model with an in-room response, the sealed box definitely has a more flat response, but the ported box definitely has more output. And the ported box can still even get low, as right now I have it tuned to 27 hertz in WinISD, and it looks like with an in-room response is getting down to about 18 hertz. Those frequency graphs aren't exact, especially since I'm only modeling my subs to actually be inside of my room, not inside of my closet, which is acting like a bandpass box. So I think I'm probably going to port that 15-inch sub and tune it somewhere between 27 and 29 hertz, and it should still sound really good, but it should definitely have a lot more output. So I can't wait to try that out. So if you guys want to see me do that, please leave it down below in the comments. I appreciate y'all for watching. Hopefully you guys like the new setup, and I'll see you all in the next video.